I guess I'll do Columbia then.
Alrighty then, I'll do Denver. Come on, folks.
Denver versus Columbia. I'm joined here by my friend Livid. We are going to be your voices during the weekend here. And for those on the live feed who may be listening, if we're doing a live feed, I'm not sure. Thank you once again for spending your weekend here with us. We will go ahead and go through our introductions for our first teams and then make out with some notes here for the weekend. We will start with Columbia. That is, I believe, the team in white. We have number 011 Little Bit. Number 11, Salt. We're at number 12, Fright Bite. Number 13, 73, Kick Puncher. We're at number 319, Storm Cloud. Number 333, Cherry Bomb. Number 404, Crash and Burn. '09 Smasher. 720 Hell's Bells. Number 79 Spitfire. And number 87 Benny Bone. Now, Livid, talk to us about Denver.
For Denver, we have 113 Slasher, 13 Beholder, 15 Brawly Pop, 31 Trick or Treat, 353 Beetle Kill, 365 Phoenix, 462 Barracuda, 515 Kit Kat, 626 Stitch, 66 Poison Emmy, 73 Starface, 77 Autumn, and 89 Taco Cat.
A lot of energy in our crowd this morning for both teams, so we're happy to hear that. I think this is going to be a very exciting weekend. Hey, just before we start, we do have a note that the JRDA Code of Conduct will be in effect all weekend. That applies both here in-house and on the live feed. And the short and sweet of that is that the JRDA exists to help everyone involved, from skaters, parents, and officials to league volunteers and spectators, learn and grow in a safe, fun, and supportive environment. In order to facilitate that, the JRDA has a Code of Conduct that will be enforced this weekend. Here are some highlights of the JRDA's expectations. All participants on and off skates, including the fans, are expected to uphold a welcoming, positive learning environment at all times. Mutual respect and support is encouraged, and all participants will be treated with respect. All conduct on or off the track will be sporting, family-friendly, and professional at all times. Participants, again, including fans, will not engage in any behavior that will endanger the health, safety, or well-being of any attendees on or off the track. Insults directed to anyone anyone or profanity of any kind, whether directed or not, are forbidden. Please use positive tones when encouraging their skaters and refrain from negativity toward or about any of the participants. Once again, that also applies to our commentary in the live feed. Now, with all that aside, hey, let's have a great time this weekend and enjoy some Junior Derby. Skaters are taking their positions here on the track, Livid. Look at this, 5-on-5 to start.
It looks like we have Starface out for Denver as their jammer.
Wow, for being so early in the morning, this is an awesome crowd we've got. Okay, the next whistle we hear will bring us to start this game. Actually, we've got Salt out there for Columbia, and like you were saying, it is Starface a jam for Denver.
And that begins our first jam.
Salt making way to the top of the pack. Denver with a 3-wall, shutting down Salt, taking Salt out of bounds to the inside.
And it seems like we have a power jam for our first game in favor of Columbia.
Yeah, Starface called off on a track cut just coming through that initial pass. So Denver walls up at top, but Salt is out. Not lead jammer, but does have 4 points.
Coming around for our second scoring pass, Columbia goes to play some offense.
Yeah, Columbia lost their pivot, but that pivot's coming back in now to rejoin the team.
And Salt picks up 4 points.
Yeah, so Salt now with an 8-point run. Starface comes back in, takes a bit of a spill coming in the track. So third scoring pass underway by Salt for Columbia. Denver walling up.
Both teams playing incredibly good defense.
Yeah, looking at number 13, the top of the pack there by Denver, bracing that tripod. Salt is out with another 4.
And we have the, Starface out for their initial pass.
Yeah, now Columbia putting down 3 scoring passes now. Salt working on a 4th scoring trip. There is no lead jammer, so there is no chance for a call-off. Multiplayer block called on a Denver blocker. That's to put them down 1 skater. And there's 4 whistles. That ends the jam.
We are going to start with 4 players for Denver and 5 for Columbia, I believe.
Yeah, 16-1 jam there in favor of Columbia.
We have Barracuda out for Denver.
Hell's Bells out the jam for Columbia. This is number 720. 3-4 pack in favor, I believe, of Columbia, with Denver still down a blocker.
And Columbia picks up lead.
Yeah, back-to-back leads for Columbia now in jam 2 of our game.
And Barracuda is out. Crash and Burn trying to play some good offense.
Hell's Bells came through on the inside, but jukes to the middle and goes for the call-off.
And that is a 1-point jam for Denver, 2-point jam for Columbia.
Looks like Denver is still down a pivot. We've got Phoenix out the jam for Denver.
And it looks like we have Frightbite out for Columbia.
It's still a 3-4 pack in favor of Columbia. Look at this, 3 leads in a row for Columbia.
Phoenix is out shortly after, though.
Lollipop called off on a track cut.
And Frightbite picks up 4 points and calls it.
Yeah, quick 4-0 jam there is going to be a +4 for Columbia now. They're at the 22-point mark.
I believe we have Autumn out for Denver as their jammer.
Yeah, Autumn getting some love there from our fan base this morning. Of course, we heard a lot of energy here when we were going through our introductions.
We have Salt out for Columbia.
This is Salt's second time out the jam now. In the first jam of the game, Salt had a 16-point run.
And Salt picks up a lead.
Yeah, this is 4 for 4 for Columbia. They have picked up a lead so far every jam of the game.
And we have Autumn out doing their initial lap.
Salt powering their way through that 2-wall of Denver blockers, gets those 4 points, making this a quick 4-0 jam. So that 4-point jam by Columbia will bring them to 26. Denver sitting there at 2 points. We are in a timeout called by our officials. Welcome to the first ever B-Team Championship Tournament. Philly Roller Derby Juniors are extremely excited to welcome all of our visiting teams to play in this extraordinary event, highlighting the athleticism and skill of our B teams. We are so glad that you are here and wish all of the teams the best of luck, and more importantly, we hope you have an amazing time. Philadelphia has a rich music history and continues to be a vibrant city for live music, popular recording artists, and houses some of the greatest performance venues. While most of you maybe are most likely too young to appreciate vinyl records, the title of our tournament comes from this very idea. Vinyl records are double-sided, often with a top hit on one side and a lesser-known song on the B-side. For the avid music fan, the B-side was often the one that became the favorite, and many went on to be greater success than the original released track. Your time on the track this weekend is to showcase all of the harmony you bring to the track with your teams, shining bright as the headliner. We are thrilled to be able to watch you bring focus, competitiveness, and good sportsmanship on the championship track. Good luck, have fun, and be proud of your efforts. Hey, here's these shout-outs, Livid, and so early on in the game, so last time we basically had to sell our souls for these shout-outs to come in, and we're glad to have them here early on in the day.
We have a shout out for Crash and Burn on Columbia. You are speed. We are so proud of you. Burn it down, from Mom and Amy.
Those shout-outs are available for just $1 each at the Philly merchandise table right there at the bottom of the stands as you come into the venue. Keep them coming. We are doing those shout-outs all day. You can make the shout-out of your choice, get them over to them. They'll bring them up to your official announcer table, and either myself or Livid will call those shout-outs for you. We have another one here. This is for Dr. Disco of Columbia. We are so proud, and dance on that track. That is from Mom and Derby Mom.
And this ends the official timeout, and we have Hells Bells and Starface out on the jam line.
Track cut. Called to the Denver Pivot. I think this is the Denver Pivot's third penalty here in a relatively short time.
And Hells Bells is out for Columbia with lead, but so is Starface.
Well, Starface isn't going to be lead.
Well, yeah. Oops.
Couple scoreless jams here by Denver. Columbia certainly mastering these quick jams, but that jam was going to be scoreless.
Looks like we have Barracuda out for Denver and Frightbite out for Columbia. Denver having a really nice seal on Frightbite. And Trick or Treat, I believe, hits out.
Oh, Barracuda gets to the inside, but may have gone out of bounds, so Barracuda's going to take the save through and recycle to the back.
And that, I believe, might be our first Denver lead of the game.
It is. This is Barracuda now in control.
Trick or Treat putting really nice hits on Frightbite. And Barracuda is out with 4 points.
Yeah, first scoring pass with some points here, completed by Denver, compliments of Barracuda. Fight bite brought to the back by Denver's number 60. Let's see, didn't get that set number. 66. That is Poison Emmy.
We have 8 points picked up by Barracuda. And another 4 points is picked up by Barracuda.
Nice recovery by Denver on this jam with Barracuda, just busting out 3 scoring passes now, working on a 4th. Hey, more shutouts, Livid. Look at this.
Whoa.
Teflon just drops them off and runs away. Doesn't even say hi.
And that is our jam. We currently have a score of 17 Denver and 26 Columbia.
Yeah, nice 15-point run by Barracuda.
We have Salt out for Columbia, and I believe Phoenix out for Denver.
And it's a 3-4 pack. Columbia with the pack advantage. Salt picking up lead.
Beholder putting a good hit on Salt, though.
So Salt making their way on a scoring pass, putting 4 points on the board.
And Phoenix is out on their initial lap. We have Denver losing their pivot to the box.
Yeah, it made things a little bit easier here for Salt, who is on their second round of points. Now Salt taken down the top of the pack by Denver's defense. That pack splits up.
And Salt picks up 4 points.
Yeah, so we saw Denver put 15 points on the board in that last jam, and it looks like Salt is going to help increase that point spread.
And Salt picks up 4 points.
Phoenix out of the pack for Denver with 4 points to show for it, and Salt calls off the jam.
And that is a 4-point jam for Denver and 12-point jam for Columbia.
We have another shot here. This goes for number 01, Little Bit from Columbia. We are so proud of you. Knocked them dead, Little Bit. That is from With Love from the Tribe. And a team timeout here called by the Denver bench, so...
Philly Roller Derby would like to give a gigantic thank you to Rydell Skates. In the world of roller skating, Rydell Roller has no equal. As the most recognized name in the roller skating industry, Rydell offers a wide variety of skating boots and accessories for all roller skating specialties, including derby, rink and speed, rhythm and shuffle, jam, artistic, and outdoor. So whether you're interested in a comfortable skate that accentuates your style, or are looking to gain a competitive edge, Rydell has the skate for you. Rydell, advancing the sports of figure skating and roller skating since 1945.
Okay, I believe that was a rolling whistle. That's going to bring us to the end of that team timeout. 20 minutes left to our first half, so all the action we just saw was only the first 10 minutes of our game.
And we have another shout out.
They're coming in, and we're actually backlogged, which is a good thing because these shout outs directly benefit our teams. Hey, we'll get to these later on because we are back to our next jam, Autumn versus Hell's Bells.
Both teams having really good walls and really good defense. And Autumn picks up lead for Denver.
2 leads for Denver. Autumn now in control. Columbia laying a 3-wall at the bottom of the pack. Autumn goes to the inside, but is taken down. That is 709 Smasher with that defense, but Smasher is going to go to the box.
We currently have 2 Denver blockers in the box, and I think we're going to have a Columbia blocker sit too. And Autumn picks up 4 points. Hell's Bell still working on that Denver wall. And Autumn picks up 4 points.
Now, Denver certainly has not had the advantage as far as leads, but they have put an impressive amount of points on the board in just a short amount of time. So Autumn with a 12-point run.
Oh my God. Whoa.
I don't know what Mercy's magic is, but we need more of this.
What?
Not Mercy, Teflon Donna. I mean, I assume it's a joint effort.
That never happened.
We have our dollar shout-out hustlers.
That's so smart. It's good how energetic the crowd is today.
Now, Columbia calling for a team timeout just in time to make our way through some of these shout-outs because they are piling up. And please let them pile up because each of these supports Philly Juniors all together as a whole, and we need that support to help us put on these amazing tournaments. This next one is for Womp Womp from Columbia, from Mom, Dad, and Bug. I think I recognize the name Bug. I've definitely recognized that from some recent events. You're killing it, but you still need to clean your room. How can you come here and skate with a dirty room? Priorities, kids.
We have a shout out to Beetle Kill from Denver. You got this, Beetle Kill. You are super strong. Keep on blocking, Lila.
We need to make sure that Womp Womp cleans their room immediately after they get home from this. We will keep calling this shout out if that's what it's going to take.
We have a shout out to Lil Bit from Columbia. We are so proud of you. Knock them dead a little bit. Love the tribe.
Game 2 forecasted to be around the 11 a.m. mark, but we know that that's only in the ideal. Hey, we'll talk about that later on because we got some more derby here in front of us.
We have Starface picking up lead right out of the gate. And Crash and Burn coming out shortly after. And Starface picks up 4 points and calls it.
Yeah, this is 3 leads for Denver, 4-0.
Oh.
4 whistles is going to bring us to a, let's see what we got going on. Timeout here by our officials.
We have a shout out to Benny Bone from Columbia. Love ya from your Rhode Island family.
We've actually got 2 shout outs here for Benny Bone. This number 87, You Better Work Queen. That is from Mom and Nana. This is probably close to 10 or 12 shout outs, so keep them coming.
I think this might be the most amount of shout outs I've ever read. So
this is 7 just within the first maybe quarter of our game. Those are again available at the Philly merchandise table right there at the bottom of the bleachers. $1 each. They get them up here to your announcer table, and we will take care of those. And that dollar directly benefits the Philly Juniors program.
PRDJ would like to thank all of the officials who are here this weekend. Without you, this weekend would not have been possible. The skaters are so grateful for your time, support, and guidance as they navigate this game of roller derby.
What a game it is, too.
What a strong way to kick off B-Team Champs weekend.
Again, this is our first time hosting an event like this, and I already can feel this is going to be a very successful weekend. 37-46 now. So Denver, like we said, has not had the advantage as far as getting lead each time, but when they do get lead, they do put up some amazing points. Barracuda out there taking on Cherry Bomb.
I believe this might be Cherry Bomb's first time jamming this game. And we have Barracuda out with a really, really nice sideline.
Yeah, now last time Barracuda jammed, she did have a 15-point run.
And Barracuda is out with 4 points.
I'm sorry, that's Barracuda's his 15-point run. I should correct myself on that.
And Trick or Treat laying a nice hit on Cherry Bomb.
Yeah, Cherry Bomb stuck in the pack. Barracuda is out with another 4.
We are now at a 1-point game. Denver's defense doing a really nice job of sealing in that jammer and reforming around.
Yeah, Barracuda now, I believe, coming out with another round of 4. So this is a 12-point run, and Barracuda calls off the action.
That is a 12-point run for Denver and a 0-point run for Columbia. And we have, I believe, a score switch.
We absolutely do. It's a 3-point lead now in favor of Denver. It's a net 12 jam, bringing us to that. Like you said, Liv, that is a lead change.
We have Phoenix out for Denver and Salt out for Columbia. And Phoenix is out, but so is Salt.
Yeah. Got out just in the nick of time because we are jammer on jammer. Our pack walling up. Oh, James Joyce is going to be calling Phoenix off on an illegal contact penalty. Not what Denver needs to maintain this lead now.
We now have a power jam in favor of Columbia.
Yeah, Phoenix kind of juked to the inside there, trying to power the way through that wall, but took a little bit of a leap there. Forearm is going to take Salt off on a penalty.
We now have Salt going to the box for, I believe, a forearm.
Yes, that is a form. That's also going to release Phoenix. So it's going to be a 2-minute jam with a solid minute to go and no chance for a call-off. And so far, no points scored.
Both teams doing an amazing job on holding back those jammers.
Both jammers losing lead. Oh, nice defense on the inside. Let's see who that was. I believe that might be Dr. Disco taking Phoenix out of bounds.
We have Phoenix taking a fall going into the Columbia pack, but going through and passing on that inside line, picking up 4 points for Denver.
Strengthening that win, or that lead change by just a few, but we're still at a 3-point game because our jammers are matched up. Dr. Disco once again taking Phoenix out of bounds to the inside. Columbia walling up at their with a tripod and a catch, keeping Phoenix stuck at the back of the pack.
That Salt picks up 4 points, and that is the end of our jam. It is 55 Denver, 54 Columbia.
We're going to have one of these games. 56 for Denver, plus 8 for Columbia, 54. So, Denver maintaining that lead by only a matter of 2 points, Livid. Autumn versus Hell's Bells in this next jam.
And we have Autumn out for Denver.
And 7-2-0 Hell's Bells. Columbia with the pack advantage. Columbia working a 4-wall, the top of the pack against Autumn. And Hell's Bells is out with lead jammer.
Trick or Treat putting a nice hit on Hell's Bells, but getting a penalty.
Yeah, Trick or Treat getting the out of play, out of bound, or out of play call. Denver losing some blockers too.
And Autumn got out, but the jam is called.
So it looks like Columbia is going to pick up a 4-point run, bringing us to a lead change in their favor by 2 points. Denver lost 2 blockers in that jam. We saw that one out of play call by their pivot. So Columbia with a 2-point lead, and their opponents are down 2 blockers. So the track's laid out for some points to be scored. Livid, what's this next shout out?
We have a shout out for Salt on Columbia from Dad. He says, an edit is just a montage. Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Philly Juniors would like to thank 187 Killer Pads for their support this season. Hey, if you skate, you know 187 Killer Pads are the choice of more pro skaters than any other brand, with visionary designs and top-rated safety and a variety of spectacular patterns. Don't skate without your 187 Killer Pads. I am ashamed to talk about how old my pads are. It is well past time for new, and I do have the 187 Pro knees that are hanging on for dear life, but they still do the job. I will be refreshing my pad supply as I continue to abuse my joints playing this sport when I'm not blowing out my vocal cords.
I have like a 187 pad set, and they have lasted me a solid 3 years. They do not play about durability.
I bought mine at ECDX, if that's a mark of how old my 187 pads are.
No, but my first pair lasted 3 years.
All right, we're back to some more derby action here. Scarface versus Crash and Burn.
And it looks like Crash and Burn gets a cut, making this a power jam for Starface. I don't believe there will be any lead. Oh, actually, yes, there will be. Starface picks up lead for Denver. Denver putting some good offense on CJR, making Starface pick up 4 points.
Yeah, Starface bringing them back in the lead by a matter of 2 points. So it's going to be one of these games.
Oh, ow. My ankles hurt just from looking at that fall that Starface took. But now it is both jammers out on the track, and Crash and Burn is out for their initial lap.
Yeah, now Starface working on their second round of points, and Starface goes for the call-off. Denver. Oh, okay. Denver certainly picking up their victory there. It's 8-0, increasing that point spread. It was 2 points. Now it's just about 6 point lead.
We have Barracuda out against Frightbite.
Yeah, Denver's down a blocker, but they've got. Well, let's see. 31 on Denver. I actually have that crossed off, so.
And Frightbite does not pick up lead, but Barracuda does, because Frightbite did have a no pass, no penalty.
Yeah, incomplete initial pass, but both jammers are able to. No! Frightbite trying to call it off, but is unable. So Barracuda with 4 points.
And a very nice jump. We now have, I believe, a 10-point. Oh, no, 8-point.
Yeah, Frightbite did get that 2 points despite not being lead jammer.
Thank you. We have Autumn out for Denver and Salt out for Columbia.
And Columbia down a blocker, so 3-4 pack in favor of Denver. Autumn making their way to the top of the pack with 2 whistles.
And Autumn picks up lead, but it is very close.
Yes, it's a foot race between Autumn and Salt right now. Ooh, Autumn crashes in the pack, trying to get through on the inside and calls off the jam. Autumn has 1 point on that against Salt's 2. Supposed to be a net 1 point there for Columbia with a 7-point difference.
We have Hells Bells out for Columbia and Phoenix out for Denver. This game is very heavy on very strong defense.
Yeah, Denver working that defense at the top of the pack. Hells Bells is out. Phoenix following in Hells Bells' tracks right there through the pack. So we are jammer on jammer once again.
I believe we are going to begin this next jam with a power jam in favor of Columbia. I believe Phoenix got a back block.
Yeah, it looks like Phoenix is having a seat in that penalty box. So Crash and Burn coming out now as the solo jammer. That is number 404.
Every time Crash and Burn has come out, he is just completely sped through.
Nice duke to the inside, toe stopping inside that line, getting Crash and Burn lead. Now Crash and Burn with a failed apex jump.
And Phoenix is back in, making this some 5-on-5 derby.
Yeah, Crash and Burn with 4 points for Columbia, bringing us to a tied score. Now that tied score is broken by another 4-point pass.
Crash and Burn approaching their next scoring pass, and Phoenix is out for their initial lap. And that will end the jam, making this a 12-point jam for Columbia and I believe a 0-point jam for Denver. We have Starface out for Denver and Hell's Bells out for Columbia.
Just about 7 minutes left to our first half of this action-packed game. Still very close for our teams. Hell's Bells gets to the top of the pack, gets a block by the Denver pivot, but his lead jammer.
Trick or Treat laying some really solid hits on Hell's Bells. Every time he's out, he's putting on some good hits.
Illegal contact penalty taking Denver's jammer to the box, so this is a power jam in the hands of Hell's Bells and Columbia. Now Columbia walling their defense up at the top of the pack. Hell's Bells goes for the call-off. That's going to end this jam and buy a power start for Columbia now.
We have about 6 minutes left in this first half.
69-81, Columbia in the lead now. They're out on a power start. All right, that whistle brings us to the jam. Tricky Vic bringing us some shout-outs. I didn't realize they recruited Tricky Vic to be hustling these, but we'll take it. Ooh. All right, so that was a Crash and Burn with an apex jump, landing out of bounds and recycling to the back.
It looks like Crash and Burn picks up 4 points, and so does Starface. Oh.
Just took a break there for a matter of safety, making sure our skaters can get back up and get some breathing room.
With about 4 minutes and 30 seconds, we are back.
12-point game, 73-85, Columbia in the lead. That doesn't mean anything, though, because we have seen our fair share of lead changes in this first half of the game. Sparks paying us a visit to the announcer table, but we are off. Hell's Bell is taking on Barracuda. And it's a 5-on-5 jam. Both teams have their entire team out there. Hell's Bells fighting with Columbia's defense at the top of the pack, but is taken down. That Hell's Bells attacks that tripod and gets through, avoids that block by the pivot, and Hell's Bells is our lead jammer.
Barracuda is out, though. This game is really one of defense.
Trick or treat with a hip check there on that Columbia jammer, and that jam is called off with a +3 here for Columbia. That brings us to a 15-point differential. Autumn back out there now taking on number 404. This is Crash and Burn. Once again.
Crash and Burn picks up lead, but Autumn is out shortly after.
Yeah, 5-on-5 for this jam. Here comes Crash and Burn in, gets to the inside, passing all those Denver blockers and calls off the action. So Crash and Burn with a +4. It looks like Autumn may end up being scoreless on that jam.
I believe we have Starface? Yeah, Starface and Salt out as your jammers.
That jam bringing us to a 19-point game. 5-on-5 once again. Oh, and it's a Denver lead. Starface is in control.
But an amazing hit out by Trick or Treat.
Yes, Salt forced to the back now to recycle, but here comes Starface to score some points. There's a pivot jammer tumble there on the inside line, but Starface is out with 4.
Starface pushing against that quite strong Columbia pack. Both jammers really struggling against their respective packs. But Starface is out with 4 points.
So Denver now with an 8-point run. They are not letting that game. They are not letting that point differential go. They're going to try to catch their points up as we move into halftime in just a moment. And our second star pass of the game, Columbia passing that star over to Spitfire.
We have a power jam against Denver.
Yeah.
Starface going to the box with a cut.
Yep. After that star pass for Columbia. So Spitfire now with that jammer star. Spitfire gets through, comes up the middle, gets 2 blocks on the outside, make that 3 blocks. Moving through that pack like a pinball, and Spitfire is out with those hard-earned 4 points.
But Starface is back.
Slasher guarding the inside line. Just as that jam comes to an end now, we have an official review being called.
During this pause in the game, we would like to talk about how PRG Day wants to scream and shout to recognize our newest supporter, Skate Free or Die. Besides creating quality team jersey as well as special items such as fully custom scrimmage jerseys, the personal touch and gold medal worthy customer service, Skate Free or Die should be added to your roster for the 2025-26 season. Give them a call and tell them Philly Junior sent you. And don't forget to take a chance on winning an awesome custom jersey. Visit the raffle table and get in on that awesome prize. And visit Patty and James at their tent and check out all of the awesome everythings.
Nice on-air present. That was really
Thank
good.
you.
It sounded amazing.
Thank you.
Practice that?
No. No, I just read what they wrote.
You should try it with your mouth guarded.
What? Oh, with my mouth guard in? Yeah, that would be so good, right? We should get Sisu to sponsor, and then I'll be able to say it with their mouth guard in. Brought to you by Sisu.
Yeah, that's perfect. Go on the street. It's not what this is about, Michael. It's shit, isn't it? It's shit. I can really I thought you wanted to hear Mr. Lovato. I did.
Both,
You know what's
but mostly Denver.
Denver losing that official review. We'll bring the details here in just a moment because we're back to our next jam. 4:04, Crash and Burn picking up lead for Columbia.
Barracuda fighting against that Columbia wall. Crash and Burn picking up his 4 points. And we have broken the 100-point mark for Columbia. I believe this will bring us to intermission. Denver 82, Columbia 100.
Yes, so we're going to take a 15 or so minute break. Hey, get those dollar shout outs in. We have a stack of them here that we'll get to in the second half. We're going to take a 15-minute break for our first game of the day. We do have Skate Free or Die here. Check out their jerseys. We have the Philly merch table going on. We have a snack stand here by the Northeast Racket Club. Whatever you do, join us here back in about 14 or 15 minutes. Yeah, give him right here. We'll take care of it.
Anybody in Crystal
And
Rock?
I was going
I was looking over there. I didn't tell you for a good beat.
This is a whole new crop of kittens. First time they're in an experience
I
like
could
this,
reach over
and
and
it's
do it,
great.
but I was
And, you know,
salad ice.
I got a few things to say about that other team, and none of it's good. And I bet you Tef would tell you the same. So,
We have Autumn out as our lead jammer.
Yes, we're moving into our second half.
Crash and Burn gets out, starting his initial lap. And that is a power in
Yeah.
favor of Columbia.
Look at that little apex hop there by Crash and Burn while Autumn taking a seat in the box for a track cut.
Columbia running up and playing some good offense for Crash and Burn, who picks up 4 points. And a nice little bean dip from Crash and Burn. And Autumn gets through, picking up 4 points.
That wasn't very discreet. I'm gonna hang that right there. I'm gonna tell River Runner she has some competition for the clothespin game.
And Crash and Burn picks up 4 points.
The back block call there by Judge Double Wapner on the outside. Going to take a Columbia skater off. 16 the forward jam. And we got an amazing pile of shout-outs here on that 15-minute halftime alone. There's one that we want to repeat, but we'll move on to this next one. This one is for our very own number 48, Tricky Vic. She's not paying attention. No, now she is. She's acting like she doesn't hear us. From the Pittsburgh Derby Brats, this is from Dark Mark. Bestad Evs Love Vic. Okay, never mind. I'm confused. Either way, it got done. I will handle this later on.
Salt picks up lead for Columbia. Starface pushing against Columbia's defense. And Starface is out. And that is an 8-point jam for Columbia.
So, if you call and save these because some of the Columbia players want to I mean, we don't know what's going on. Just saying.
I believe we have Barracuda out.
Yeah, Barracuda taking on Hell's Bells. 90 with a 125 in favor of Columbia.
And we have Barracuda out with lead.
Yeah, forearm call on Denver on number 31. Going to put their pivot in the box.
We have 4 points picked up by Barracuda. This game is so close that 2 or 3 really good jams could completely switch how it's going.
Yeah, if you missed the first half of this game, somewhere around the middle of that first half, we saw a number of lead changes and where it was down to as few as a 2-point difference. Some impressive jamming there by Denver in the first half. Shout out here to Spitfire from Columbia. Lower the boom is the message on there.
We have Autumn out and for Denver and Salt out for Columbia. And Autumn is through, picking up lead,
Yeah.
sneaking through that inside line.
Yeah, very quick lead jam there by Autumn. So Autumn is in control. I think I see New England coming into the venue.
That is a 4-point jam for Denver and a 1-point jam for Columbia.
Yeah, so Denver breaking the 100-point mark. They're at 102. Columbia 126. Shout out here for Coach Eddie from Columbia. Keep calm. Everything is fine. I may have to hold on to this for later, depending on how the rest of the tournament goes. Crash and Burn, number 404, is out with a Columbia lead.
But Phoenix is out shortly after.
Yeah, we got some 5-on-5 derby. Both teams at full strength. Oh, they're still coming in. We thank you for everybody with these shout-outs. It's fun for us, and it's a benefit for Philly Juniors.
We would like to give a shout out to Denver Minor Turbulence from Barracuda's mom. This one's for Minor Turbulence from everyone watching at home. You're flying with heart and hustle. We love you and are always so proud of you.
Hell's Bells taking on Starface now. And Hell's Bells working at the top of the pack, but Denver with a very strong tripod keeping Hell's Bells in the pack. Meanwhile, Columbia's got their defense against Starface.
Some really nice blocking from Brawly Pop.
Yeah, and as we know, Modern Derby is a game of offense and defense at the same time. We don't typically talk about defense because the jammers are the star of the show, but defense certainly makes a difference in the outcome of each jam. So Starface breaks out with lead for the Denver Minor Turbulence. Shorty coming in, joining us on the
Beholder
line.
putting a really nice hit out on Hell's Bells. Starface picking up 4 points.
Yeah, and now it's a power jam in favor of Denver because Hell's Bells is having a seat in the box. I didn't catch that hand signal for the penalty, but
I believe it was a
a
forearm.
forearm penalty. So Starface now with a +4, making this an 8-point run.
And that is another 4 points for
Yes.
Denver.
Now we talk about the announcer's curse, Liv, and we did just a moment ago talk about how the various ways this game can change course, and here it is. So it's a 12-0 jam by Denver.
Making the score 116 Denver, 128 Columbia. So
Yeah.
very, very close.
Yep, and all it takes is that one jammer penalty that can affect the outcome of the game. And it is a power start now in the hands of Columbia. They've got Barracuda out with the star. Top of the pack, 709 Smasher with the brace position of that tripod. Barracuda is out with a Denver lead. Poison Emmy closing up a hole on both the inside and the outside. Nice defense there by Poison Emmy. Oh, look at
Why?
we tried the best we could. Sparks, we tried. Barracuda out now with 4 more. It is an 8-point game, and Barracuda is in control on this jam.
And that is the end of this jam. I believe 5 points for Denver, 0 points for Columbia.
Yeah,
this is a
nice.
7-point game.
I think we both knew, Livid, that this was going to happen with 20 minutes left to go.
This is really anybody's game.
You see why we're having all the shout-outs. You can see Teflon Donna up there hustling the shout-outs in the bleachers. Those are only $1 each. They benefit Philly Juniors, and we get you the shout-out of your choosing. Autumn out the jam. Some 5-on-5 action. Let's see. Looks like this is Salt with a star for Columbia. Autumn pushing, but Saul breaks out of the middle of the pack. We're jammer on jammer, but Saul is lead. Look at how close these jammers are. Autumn catching up, forcing Saul to call off the jam, so that's going to be a sacrifice.
We have Phoenix out for Denver. And Crash and Burn out for Columbia.
Still 7 points. Columbia 128 and Denver 121. So we are at the edge of our seats. It's some 5-on-5 jam once again.
And Phoenix picks up lead, but Crash and Burn is out soon, starting his initial lap.
Who's here cheering for Denver? Where's our Denver fans cheering for Phoenix? Our pack speeds up to get ahead of those jammers. Phoenix gets in and calls off the jam. So 2-1 is what we're looking at, possibly by our jammer referees. So it's going to be a net 1 for Denver. 123, 129. So down to 6 points separating these two teams.
There's really any way this could go. We have Starface out for Denver and Salt out for Columbia.
I don't think we saw this much action in the beginning of Hoagie Roll just a few weeks ago. So look at that.
And Starface sneaks on that
Yes.
inside line and picks up lead, but Salt is out quickly.
I wish I could do crossovers as well as Starface does. Starface coming in, score some points. Oh, Starface comes in on the inside, jukes to the middle, and calls off that jam halfway through. Columbia is going to be scoreless and a +2 for Denver. Livid, that brings us to a 4-point difference.
All we need is one scoring pass and it is tied.
We're going to catch up on these dollar shoutouts. We have not forgotten about those who have paid for them. Let's see, Barracuda taking on Crash and Burn. And we are at 5-on-5.
And Barracuda is out with lead. And a really nice hit out by Trick or Treat. And that is 4 points, making this a tied game.
We knew it was going to happen. Denver looks like, we talk about second half comeback teams. Denver certainly putting an image to that because they have done an amazing job. Oh, while Barracuda was down, Crash and Burn comes in, gets ahead. Now Barracuda is out. This is an 8-point run.
Making this, this is still just like a 4-point game.
Yeah, Crash and Burn taking a bounds on the outside by 3-6-5. That's Phoenix. And there's a back block. Oh boy.
And that is our game. It is 134 Denver, 133 Columbia.
Shout out here to Fright Bite from Columbia. Fright Bite, do a trick. So Fright Bite, let's see what trick they want you to go ahead. Well, the next trick's going to be a timeout, actually. So
We are
plenty of-
at, oh, sorry.
No, you'll go ahead, Livid.
We are at a 1-point game.
1 point and halfway through our second half with a team timeout. Plenty of time here for Fright Bite to do a trick. The trick does not cost extra. They paid for the shout out, so I believe the buyer is entitled to a trick. Next out of here for Smasher from Columbia with the message, stay out of the box, bruh. Columbia getting a lot of shout outs here. We're gonna save these for the teams and give them back to those teams just that they have something to remember us by. But keep those shout outs coming. Teflon Donna did just deliver 3 more shout outs. We are backlogged. We'll hold on to these here as this timeout comes to an end.
As a reminder, whoever wins this game will be playing Philly in the 3rd game. Because this is championships, it is bracketed, so.
All the fun in championships without going to Loveland, Colorado in a few weeks. Right here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
And we have a power jam in favor of, a power jam in favor of Columbia. And Smasher picks up lead.
Yeah, we saw a track cut hand signal. And that, not quite sure. That is the Denver Jammer sitting in the box, that track cut. So there's that Jammer penalty right when it matters the most. Columbia with a 4-point run. And that jam called off, freezing Autumn in the box.
We are at a 3-point game in favor of Columbia.
Game 2 today, slated to be around 11 a.m., will be seed number 3. That's Rockin' City Rebels taking on seed number 6, the New England Nautical Nightmares. And I saw New England walk in a few moments ago, so they're getting amped up for our second game of the day.
And a good hit from Trick or Treat onto Salt. And that picks up lead for Salt.
Autumn giving that defense everything she has got, trying to get some points to recover for Denver. Oh, and Autumn is going to have another trip to the box. She's called off on a back block. So Denver with the unfortunate disadvantage of being down a blocker and a jammer with the score as close as it is. Salt taken down on the outside line and calling off the jam. So Columbia buying a power start once again. We have a shout out here to Storm Crowd from Columbia. This is from Mommy. Time to grind with the Killer Bees. So we're going to have number 404 crash and burn out for Columbia. Columbia sitting there on a 10-point lead over Denver.
And that picks up lead.
So crash and burn in control and on a power jam.
But we have Autumn back out. And Autumn is out starting her initial lap.
Yeah, now Crash and Burn did call off the jam with 8 points to show for it.
Speaking of Crash and Burn, we have a shout out for Crash and Burn from Dad. I'm very proud of you.
So our penalty box is clear. We're going into this jam with a full 5-on-5. Phoenix taking on Smasher. Columbia walling up at the top of the pack. Looks like Slasher moves up front, trying to work some offense for their jammer. Smasher is out with a Columbia lead.
Denver's pivot is in the box, so there is no ability to star pass.
Oh, Phoenix is going to be called off on a forearm.
Making this a power jam for Columbia.
Yeah, these jammer penalties for Denver not coming at a great time at all with that score as close as it is. But Columbia now with a 20-point win, 20-point win just yet, 20-point lead over Denver, 154-134. We got some Columbia fans cheering now. We've had, oh, I see pink hair. That means Sayonara is in the crowd here as well. We have a very energetic crowd for being so early in the morning.
We have Crash and Burn out for Columbia. And Crash and Burn picks up his lead.
Yeah, Crash and Burn still looking at a power jam. Well, actually, no, Phoenix is going to be released. Nice hustle by Denver's defense, trying to get ahead of Crash and Burn, but Crash and Burn is out with those points.
And Phoenix is out on her initial lap.
Crash and Burn calling off the jam before Phoenix can come in and score any points. So down to under 10 minutes to our game. Columbia picking up their lead. Shout out here. This is going to Brawly Pop from Denver. We love you, Brawly Pop, from Mom, Grandma, and Grandpa. We have a pile of shout outs here, and this is only for the first game, Livid. We thank everybody for who is helping us out with these shout outs, because that, again, that benefits Philly Junior's program and helps bring Junior Derby to right here in Philadelphia, PA, USA. Spitfire with a block on Starface. Salt out with lead jammer for Columbia. A two-wall pretzel move by Columbia's defense, turning into a tripod against Starface. Starface jamming for Denver, but is stuck. Slasher working some off and trying to get Starface out of the pack, but Columbia reforms their defense.
We have Salt coming back into the pack. And Starface is out, and Salt calls it. This is a 36-point game in favor of Columbia.
I was just trying to do the math in my head. Yes, 36 points. Barracuda out there taking on Crash and Burn. Now, it's a 4-3 pack in favor of Denver.
And with an apex jump from Crash and Burn, they are out, but so is Barracuda.
Saw some nice blocking there by Womp Womp. Our pack picks up speed.
And that is a 2-point jam for Denver, 1-point jam for Columbia. We have Phoenix out for Denver and Smasher out for Columbia. And Phoenix is out with lead.
Yeah, our pack stopped right between the pivot line and jammer lines. Here comes Phoenix to score some points. Phoenix taking on that three wall of Columbia blockers and powers through, breaking up that wall and getting 4 points for Denver.
And that is another 4 points for Phoenix. A failure to reform penalty called on
Yeah, that's right.
Cherry Bomb.
We know that when those referees call no pack, you have to immediately reform that pack. Star pass over to Dr. Disco, but Phoenix with 12 points calls it off. So we've seen so far in the game that Denver not really getting the fair share of lead jammers, but when their jammers do get lead, they do have a good number of points scored against a scoreless jam for Columbia. So it's a plus 12 for Denver on that jam. Shot out here for Phoenix from Denver. Knock 'em Dead from Ann Haley and Uncle Caleb. Rolling whistle brings us into an official review. Not a rolling whistle, I should say.
Whether your sport involves 2, 4, or 8 wheels, Triple Eight is the leading global brand of helmets and protective gear worn by everyone from beginners to the best skate athletes in the world. Philly Juniors would like to thank Triple Eight for helping to protect our brains again this season. A special shout out to all of the photographers who are here this weekend. Your photographs not only make these skaters look amazing, but you provide them with special keepsakes that will last a lifetime. We are thankful that you have chosen to spend your time and share your talents with us. Drew Wiedemann, my dad, Andrew Keys, Ross Sieber, Father of Biscuits, and all of the other league photographers who are with us, thank you so much for your time and dedication. Also, I love you, Dad.
I figured why he's not here.
As of about 5 minutes left in the game, we have Denver at 148 and Columbia at 171. We have a shout out to Taco Cat on Denver from Shosho. Taco Cat, Shosho loves you. We have Barracuda out on the line for Denver. And Salt out for Columbia. And Barracuda picks up lead for Denver. But Salt is out shortly after. And Barracuda picks up 4 points.
Certainly Denver's chance to regain their lead. Coming off this official review called by Columbia questioning whether or not the Denver jammer had committed a forearm penalty. Now, the officials got together on that and determined that no forearm penalty had occurred, so Columbia has lost that official review in the previous lineup. That jam 4-4 going to be a wash. Nothing gained, nothing lost for each team. It is a 23-point game with 4.5 minutes to go.
I came over earlier. I forgot the most important part. Thank you.
We have Starface out for Denver.
So one of our shout-outs earlier today did not get to its intended recipient, so I want to redo this one. This is for Womp Womp from Columbia, from Mom, Dad, and Bug. You're killing it, but you still need to clean your room. Now, that did cause a little bit of embarrassment. I want to make sure that the embarrassment from that is not quite as bad as it was. And when I say Bug, I'm wondering if that's Thug Buggerson, a name that we've heard plenty of times in the JRDA world. Hey, we're back to our jam.
We have Phoenix out against Crash and Burn, who picks up lead. And there is a star pass from Phoenix to 6 Poison Emmy.
Okay. We saw some good defensive blocks by Poison Emmy, kind of back to back. I remember one jam where Poison Emmy knocked the jammer out of bounds to the inside, then moved to the outside with a second hip check. So now down under 3 minutes. Starface with the star for Denver, and number 11 Salt jamming for Columbia.
We have Salt picking up lead for Columbia. And Starface working against that pack, starting their initial lap. And Salt calls it off with 4 points.
Yeah, 4-0 there in favor of Columbia, securing their so far upper hand with the higher score, 183-152.
Their 31-point lead.
Shout out here for Slasher from Denver. You're kicking butt. Well done. Quite the stack of shout-outs here that we went through. Crash and Burn back out there versus Barracuda, and Barracuda is picking up lead for Denver.
And Barracuda picks up 4 points. Denver's defense doing an amazing job of holding back Crash and Burn.
Yeah, Barracuda made quick work of those couple scoring passes, now working on scoring pass number 3.
And Crash and Burn is out with his initial lap. And Barracuda picks up 4 more points.
And Barracuda goes for the call-off with under 2 minutes left to our first game here at Battle of the B-Sides.
We have Starface out for Denver.
Where did these 2 other clothespins come from? Oh, okay. All right, I got the Squid Squad clothespin. And the You've Been Inked clothespin. I think we're going for a contest here. Salt fighting on this initial pass. Denver throwing their defense at the top of the pack.
But Starface gets out and picks up lead.
Multiplayer block called by Judge Double Wapner on, I believe this is Autumn, having a seat in the box as the pivot.
And Denver calls it, making this a 2-2 jam.
And with under a minute left to the official period clock, this next jam likely to be the final jam of our first game of the day. And a timeout is going to be called by the Denver bench to buy a full team. Oh, no, there's an official review being called.
We have a shout out to Dr. Disco on Columbia from Coach Reaper. He says, proud of you, kid.
Is it just to save time?
Official review just being used as a team timeout. Hey, make sure you check out the awesome raffle prize that's up at the table next to the check-in table. Derby gear, helmets, vintage sports apparel. There's a little something for everyone. Buy some raffle tickets at the raffle table to help support the Philly Roller Derby Juniors program. And if you're lucky, take home a great prize. Please and thank you. Okay.
We have Barracuda out and picking up lead for Denver.
Crashing.
And it is a power jam
Yes.
for Denver.
Wow, Livid. I
This-
just got chills hearing you say that because
This could really just fully change the game.
it is a 22-point difference, but Barracuda is on this power jam.
Not impossible to do.
Autumn coming back in. Looks like she is ready to lend some assistance to Barracuda. 4 whistles. Oh.
Did she call it?
Looks like that jam was called by our officials for a matter of safety. I don't know how that's going to I don't know what that's going to do for the end of the game, if we're going to have one more jam or not. I'm guessing for the injury protocol, it's very likely that we might see one more jam. Well, no, actually the period clock has expired, so well, you know, let's let the officials do their thing, and whatever happens, happens. Second game of the day will be the seed number 3 team. That's going to be Rockin' City Rebels, and the seed 6, which is the New England Nautical Nightmares. Well, we're in this. Well, it looks like our officials might be actually breaking from their huddle. So let's see. As a reminder, if you are on skates, you must be in full gear, and for your safety and the safety of our spectators, skates are not to be worn on the bleachers. Safety first, and please and thank you on that note. Looks like, Livid, there's going to be another jam out of the game. I see a star going on the helmet of a Denver skater.
Possibly.
Well, okay. Let's not. Okay, I didn't, had some flashbacks there with the scoreboard went down, but it is definitely back up.
I know the announcer's curse is real.
I own that one. I will take full responsibility if the announcer's curse was caused as a scoreboard issue, but it is definitely up and working. while we're in this timeout by our officials, let's talk about one of our newest providers here. Skate Free or Die is the newest roller derby uniform provider and the largest manufacturer in the Northeast. Now, as a matter of fact, I saw them just a few weeks ago at Northeast Uprisings tournament that they hosted. Side note, they did an amazing job with that. They are a roller derby family, and it shows in the care that they give with each and every skater and league who orders jerseys from them. They do it all, print, cut, and sew in-house, giving attention to every detail. Philly Roller Derby Juniors is thrilled to have found Skate Free or Die to be their uniform partner. Check out Skate Free or Die. Their store is skatefreeordie.com, or just come and visit their tent and grab a treat to get fitted for an amazing new jersey. As a reminder, food is not permitted on any area of the rink. All drinks must have a cover or cap. We do not want to have any spills, and please be sure to throw all your trash. We thank you in advance for your help keeping the Northeast Racket Club clean so we may continue to host amazing tournaments such as this, and Hoagie Roll, and Philly Fest, and playoffs, and all of the things that Philly Juniors does for the JRDA. We are waiting in anticipation of how our officials handle what we think was an injury call-off. Because with 14 points separating these two teams and having one jam or not having another jam, things could kind of go, can go pretty intense here in just the next few moments.
As a reminder, if the injury protocol is used, if you have completed your initial lap as a jammer, lead will remain the same as the last jam, and you will begin on a scoring pass if you've already completed your initial pass before the injury. And it looks like there will be another jam.
And it is a 15-point game. Okay, there's a rolling whistle. And going from that timeout into another timeout by our official. So the intensity certainly building up. I think they're going to address that unofficial score count there by the scoreboard to allow us to have one more jam.
It appears you're right.
I want to give Columbia one of their shout outs.
Oh, yeah.
Columbia. Starting this jam with exactly 1 second on the period clock. Now that means that we do get a full 2-minute jam, or however it ends. It is a power start, Livid, in the hands of Starface from Denver. No pressure.
And lead has been awarded to Denver because of the injury protocol. Starface picking up 4 points.
Autumn with a nice block there on Salt as Salt comes back in from the box. Columbia with a 3-wall, shutting down Starface at the bottom of the pack, and Salt is called off on a penalty. Livid.
This literally could completely change.
6-point game. Power jam in the hands of Denver right now with Starface still running strong.
With 35 seconds left, it is entirely possible for
Nice decision there by Starface, taking that incomplete pass. That initiator did go out of bounds, so Starface.
With
Bring this-
19 seconds left, one more could be the game.
Starface goes for the jump there on the line, gets taken out of bounds. Saul comes back in and gets some blocking by Denver's defense.
That is the game.
Live it, I don't.
And Denver
Oh.
pulled it up ahead.
No way.
And that is a 1-point game.
Could we have done any better for the first game of the day here at Battle of the B-Sides?
That is the score.
Denver pulling that win out in the last couple seconds by 1 point. That jam called off in the middle of, it looked like to be in the middle of the scoring pass. 15-point jam by Starface to bring them the unofficial victory. We can't miss the high five because both of these teams did flat out amazing job offense and defense wise.
This game was very, very well matched up.
Our gym referees meeting
And that is your final score. 186 Denver, 185 Columbia.
Give these teams an amazing round of applause. Unbelievable gameplay with a 1-point game.